Hello, lovely viewers. I am back with another video, and today we are doing Disney Princesses Reimagined, but I'm redoing my first video. This was like one of the first videos that I ever made on my channel, and it got way too many views. Like, it got way too many views, and honestly, I don't think the drawings were worth the hype that it got, but I'm very thankful nonetheless, because without that video I probably wouldn't have continued drawing and doing this stuff. So I just want to say thank you to all of you. If you've been here from the beginning or you're new, I appreciate every single one of you. Now, up first is Snow White. I decided to keep her as a Silkwing. I think she fits pretty well in that profile. I honestly didn't change too much about her. I just added wings to her and I just like fleshed her body out more. Of course, did better drawing skills. I also feel like my shading definitely improved in the first video. That was the first time I had ever done shading before in my life, because I was only drawing on a paper before. This was the first time using like digital art, so I didn't know how to do it. So instead of like making the colors saturated, like when you want to shade, you want to make the darker colors dark but saturated, or like let's say when you're shading with blue, when you have blue, you want to shade with a saturated purple because it like complements each other and makes more depth. Color theory, just all that confusing stuff. But if you notice in my original drawing, it looks muddy because I was using just like darkened but lowered colors of the original color, without adding saturation. So it was just looking like it was taking the color out of the drawing and it made it look less vibrant and less alive like that. I also think my lines have gotten really sharp and clean. That's kind of something that I've implemented into my drawing style, is the lines are very clean and a little more cartoonish. I also like to make, whenever I'm doing Disney princesses especially, I like to make their eyes really big and exaggerated, and the lashes and like the pretty like cutesy princess look, I guess. And I just think that it came out looking much cuter than the first one. Another thing is I wasn't good at drawing silkwings before because I hadn't drawn many of them, and I feel like I got the scales on the silkwing much better. Next we have Ariel, and I definitely think like her face looks really blocky in the original one. There's not a lot of color depth. The scales look a little off, and then on top of that, a lot of people in the comments were mad at me for making her fin red, because I get it, sea wings can't have red fins. I did break a rule there. Um, so I decided to make her this time sea wing skywing, but I still wanted her to look predominantly sea wing because she is at heart from the ocean. So yeah, but the only thing that I added that was skywing is like the extra horns like on her nose and cheek. Her top scales are a little more different than a sea wing scales, but she still has gills. And I just, because she's half skywing, I can now add the red without getting in trouble, and it makes sense to her character. So yay. With my original drawing, I really don't notice much shading or color depth at all. And also, like, I just noticed little proportion issues. Whereas this one looks a little more lively, a little more Ariel. And I also changed, like, she has a soft smile in the original. I gave her a big smile in this one because I feel like that's just more of Ariel's personality. I did change up the positioning slightly with her and Jasmine, but they're kind of similar. They're pretty similar to the original, but there's just a little bit of a difference. And I really liked the way this one came out. It just looks so much cuter than the original. Like, she looks happier, she looks more alive, she just more vibrant in her colors and her expression, and I really think that I improved a lot on this. Next we have Miss Jasmine, and I changed up Jasmine a little bit because I felt like her smile didn't quite fit. I feel like Jasmine's like softer smile, so I closed her mouth. Also, I wanted to add more dynamic to this drawing because I just felt like it's very boring. She's facing one direction, and the same way, like she's facing the same way Snow White was. So I didn't want to make two of the same. So I added like a head tilt. I've been practicing more perspectives, and I thought this is like one that I always struggle with, so I wanted to challenge myself, and I think I did pretty okay. Like on making it look like her head is turning, like make her look, she's dreaming off in the distance. But with Jasmine, I didn't change too much. I didn't change the fact that she was solely Sandwing. I don't think she really could be anything else. I feel like Sandwing fits her so perfectly, especially the movie itself as well. And her colors for Sandwing, I just made a very basic Sandwing colors, and instead it's her jewelry that defines her as Jasmine. Same thing with my original. The original isn't horrible, but I didn't understand Sandwing anatomy very well. The cheeks look creepy as heck. I don't know why I thought that their cheeks just like bent into their face. That is so not right. And I had several people correcting me. Thank you guys, whoever it was. Thank you for making me realize that that looks weird as heck. I struggled with her scales on her arms because I wanted them to look as realistic as possible, but they didn't flow, and as you're seeing here, I readjusted them so many times, and I'm still not done. Look, I'm still readjusting them. But I do think it came out pretty well. I think I got the angle pretty decent. I'm kind of proud of myself. And her jewelry, and I gave her like a sheer scarf, because I feel like Sandwings adorn themselves in pretty clothings and scarves and stuff like that. I could see a Sandwing doing that, especially royalty. So I just made a sheer scarf to put over her neck to like signify this is Jasmine. I don't know. And then I did lighter tones, but I feel like Jasmine would be more of like a tan Sandwing rather than a golden color. So I decided, like, I tried to like change the tone later on. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out. I think she looks just much better and much more alive and dynamic as well. With her eyes, I didn't give her the super big round Disney princess eyes like I did with the other ones, just because I feel like Jasmine has a more sleek, like sharper look to her eyes and the way she looks. And I feel like Jasmine out of all of them seems like the smartest and strongest Disney princess. Like, not the strongest, but of this group, she seems like the smartest and more keen. Like, yeah, she just seems like a girl boss. So I feel like I wanted her to have like a more sleek intellectual look, and not like a big-eyed Disney princess, which is completely fine. I just wanted her to be defined over the other ones in that way. And it's crazy because I feel like with every drawing I improve. Like, I found a way to make the wings look more dynamic, the limbs on the wings, by shading the back of them and lightening the front. So it's just like, even with every single drawing I'm improving, and it's really satisfying to see my improvement over the years. And all of y'all's support and continued motivation has really also helped that. So I just want to thank all of you for this. Well guys, that concludes this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you want to see me redraw my older drawings, more of them. Let me know if you want to see other things, other video ideas in the comments. Thank you so much. I love you all.